as we continue with our Heritage Day coverage, we now zoom in on the Afrikaans heritage. To do that, I'm now joined by Alana Bailey, Afriforum Deputy CEO via Zoom, who is in Pretoria. Alana, thank you so much for your time. Now, let's begin here. What does heritage mean to you and the Afrikaans community in general?
Well, I think in general, Afrikaners are very passionate about Afrikaner history, but also South African history. And I think it's like your reporter from Kimberley said today, after this long period that we've been at home with COVID, it's a good time to explore again what we have in South Africa and to realize how rich our heritage actually is.
And looking at something deeper now, at where we are currently as a country in terms of racial tensions, political ideologies, how do you think this day should be celebrated?
Well, I think it should be celebrated by actually making everyone aware of all the different aspects of history and not as something that is contentious and as an area where we should jostle for space, but actually as a scene where we can foster mutual respect for each other's histories and recognition for the contribution of all South Africans to the country, like the Constitution says in its preamble.
Now, for you personally, Alana, what does Heritage Day mean for you?
Well, I'm a very passionate historian. I started my life off as a researcher in the Cultural History Museum in Pretoria. So when I can, I like to travel to any of the museums in my vicinity on Heritage Day. Today, I must admit that I didn't do it. I'm still a little bit scared of traveling too much. But I'll definitely make plans to do that again next year. But what I did today, and something that most people can do in South Africa, I made a selection of photographs that I have of special memories in my family and in the things that I've done in the last 10 years. And it's just something to celebrate life and to celebrate the people and the heritage that's important to you. And I think we can all do it quite easily with our cell phones or with pictures. I think it was a fun way for me to celebrate the day.
Now, Alana, as a historian, as you've mentioned, what are some of the misconceptions people have about the Afrikaans community you are really, that you think are unfounded? And I'll tell you why I asked that question, because over the years, we've seen how you've wanted to preserve the language Afrikaans, and through that wanting to preserve the language, you are somewhat seen as distant from the rest of the community and not really integrated into the broader society. Do you think that that is true?
Well, language is a very important part of history, of heritage, sorry. And I think that every South African should try and create more space for our indigenous languages and not just simply use English, which is the easy way out in South Africa, which is often damaging the space that we have for indigenous languages. Afrikaans also is not a language of just white people. I think that's a perception that also is very prevalent. But most of the speakers of Afrikaans actually are not white. So I think it's an interesting language because it creates a platform where a lot of people of different races can meet each other in South Africa. And I think the fact that Afrikaans has developed to a very high level has set examples which other developing languages can also emulate. And I think it's also a way in which we can assist more South Africans by using the examples that we've seen that work to develop Afrikaans and to make the same opportunities available to more languages.
All right, very quickly, something fun to leave the day with. It's Heritage Day. What's on your menu in your household, and what are you spending the rest of the afternoon doing as an Afrikaans person?
Well, I'm going to listen to Afrikaans music for a while, and I'm also reading an Afrikaans book. So that's the personal things I'm doing, and then definitely I'm not very good with braaiing, so today will be bobotie and yellow rice. Yes, and I wish everybody a very happy Heritage Day, and I hope by next year we would have reached a new normal and we'll be able to travel to more heritage sites like exciting ones you're portraying today.